The views and opinions in the following program are those of the host and guests and do not reflect those of Ernest Smith or Ernest Smith Productions. This is ESP TV.
Good evening. This is ESP TV. My name is Karen Bryson. And this evening I decided we're going to do something a little different. We're spread out here on the floor and I'm with one of my dearest friends. Her name is Angina Porter, but I call her G. So that's what you all are allowed to call her tonight. And tonight we are going to be discussing Christmas and the holidays and how we feel about different things and even up to New Year's, since we won't be talking to you until next year. So good evening, everyone. And G, thank you so much for agreeing to be on the show this evening.
You're welcome.
I had to talk her into it. No, I didn't. And we're sitting here having some fruit and a little wine, and we're just going to talk about whatever's on our hearts for the season. What is your favorite memory of Christmas?
The music.
The music? Really? Do you have a favorite song?
Maybe like I just like the oldie songs, like Silent Night or something by the
Temptations?
The Temptations.
Everybody
yes.
loves that. My favorite song, and I realized it when I was real little and it's carried through, is Oh Holy Night. And I love it. I love it. I'm a soprano, but I can sing alto as well. So whenever someone is singing the lead part, I'll come in with the alto part. I just love that song. Do you have a favorite Christmas movie?
Not really. I watch a lot of Christmas movies all year round, so.
See, that's why we're friends, because I can sing Christmas songs all year long and watch Hallmark movies all year long as they're about Christmas. My favorite Christmas movies, I would have to say, are, I love Best Man Holiday and White Christmas. I love the dancing in White Christmas. What else? Scrooged with Bill Murray. He is hilarious. I like that movie. And there was one other one I really enjoyed. I saw it here recently, and I can't, what was the name? Oh, Miracle on 34th Street, but it's not the older one with Natalie Wood. I mean, that one was good too, but I like the updated version of it.
Oh, I like the old one.
You like the old one?
The old one.
Yeah. So, are you cooking Christmas dinner so I can come over?
No, we'll probably go to a family house and eat, but we are going to Busch Gardens tomorrow to Christmas time.
Wow.
Because I want to see Scrooge.
That ought to be really nice. Is this something new, or have they always done it?
Well, they do it every year. I just like to go to the festivities and look at the beautiful sights and stuff like that.
I think the only festive thing I've done since I moved down here was I went to, let me see, it's the Botanical Gardens. Yes, we went there one year and saw the lights. It was absolutely beautiful. Yeah, but otherwise, I don't think I've done too much, like the lights down at the in Virginia Beach. Have you been down there?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's good when you walking actually on the strip and watching the lights from there, but it's pretty cool. We usually stop at McDonald's and get ice cream and French fries and then take the ride through.
Okay. Now that's interesting that you're not allowed to walk. You have to drive through that one down on the boardwalk.
Right. Unless you're staying out there, you can walk a little.
Okay. I remember my favorite Christmas in Delaware, because we were, depending on which year it was, we alternated between going to my grandparents and other family members in Jersey City, or we had Christmas at home in Delaware. But this one particular Christmas, it snowed, and even though I was little, I was in elementary school, but I stepped outside the door because down here you all don't really have corner stores. In New York and Jersey they call them bodegas, but there was a corner store right across the street diagonally from where I lived in the neighborhood. And I stepped out and the snow hit me up to my thighs. But I looked up and it was such a clear, crisp night. The snow was so white and pretty, and it was like a zillion stars on, a velvet background.
Oh,
so that's all.
So pretty.
And that's when I knew, well, I've always known since I was little too, that my favorite color is like navy blue with, anything sparkling above it. It's like beautiful. Yeah.
I can relate to like when the snow is like up to here, because when I used to live in Chicago,
Ooh,
it's really it's really cold, and the snow doesn't like usually melts. It just get higher and higher and higher, and when you step out, it is pretty deep, knee deep. But yeah, I can relate to it just a little.
I've always admired people in Chicago and in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and out west where it actually snows and you all get some real weather out there. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know how they do it and still get up and go to work. I mean, it's cold enough on the East Coast over here, especially further north. But
You can only come out when the sun is shining.
oh my gosh.
That's what they tell you. Only come out when the sun is up.
I believe it. I believe it. Now, what I cannot get used to is, I keep saying, well, I'm in the South. Isn't it supposed to be warmer down here? But it's like in the 30s, and I have the heat on like 75 and 80. I like warm weather. I don't like being cold. My goodness. Do you have a favorite memory of whatever toy that you actually got when you were little that you couldn't wait to get and open?
Well, I remember a toy like from when my grandmother was alive. I don't know if you remember the little spinning wheel you sit on like this, and you turn it. It was blue with all the colors on it.
Make you dizzy.
Yeah, you just yeah.
Oh my gosh. I remember one of the favorite gifts that my sister and I got, and we shared it. Well, we were used to always, at my grandmother's in Jersey, she never, this was before your time, so nothing was boxed. Everything was natural and, handmade, so we always made cakes and pies and stuff from scratch. So we got an Easy Bake Oven that year, and it was so much fun, putting a little 200-watt bulb in there and putting our little cakes in there. It's like, oh my gosh.
I remember those, yeah.
But, yeah.
We baked the same thing all the time.
Really?
Cake or cupcake, maybe cookies.
But they were good, surprisingly. They really were.
Yeah.
Wow. I remember, though, when the alternating years when we did go to Jersey, my grandmother, my aunt, and uncles, and everybody, they took all of us. We always went to Radio City Music Hall to see the Christmas shows. So if we didn't go Christmas, if we weren't up there, we'd be up there Easter. So we always went to the Easter show at Radio City Music Hall. So
that sounds nice.
It was. It really was. They really exposed us to a lot, and a lot of families, not that they may not be able to afford it, but they don't offer those different types of things to their children. As far as, we went to museums and things when we were little, and we were exposed to theater and just things like that, which I really appreciate them doing that, because I did that for my children as well, and they're doing those same things for their children. Like my son and his wife, we traveled, when I would take my kids, on cruises and everything else. His wife had never been out of Delaware. She hadn't been anywhere, flown or been on a cruise or anything. So I said, Alvin, take your wife places. Come on now.
Yeah.
So he started doing that, and she loves it. I'm still trying to get her on a horse. She said they're too big.
I haven't ridden a horse either.
Really?
Maybe soon.
Are you afraid of them, or they're...
I'm not really afraid of them. I've been around, I just haven't ridden them, but I love animals. Like, I love to read about them, study them, but I just haven't been on one.
Then you know what? Spring and summer is coming. We're going to have to go out and find a stable in Virginia Beach or somewhere else close and do that. I'm still trying to talk my oldest daughter into skydiving with me. We did the one inside I Fly, and she had a lot of fun with that. I said, come on, the next step is just, to be outside with the parachute, jumping from the plane. And
You on your own.
I can't talk you into going with me. Gee, come on now. How are you going to be my friend and we can't do stuff like that? Do you like roller coasters?
I do.
Okay, well, you can get on a roller coaster.
I'm older now, so they can't spin around too much, but I like roller coasters.
Roller coasters are fun, but see, that shows you have a wild side. So we can go up in that plane and jump, and it doesn't take long to fall. It looks like it would take a long time, but other people have said that it's so much fun. I would love to try it. I know.
You might be still on your own.
Girl, I'm going to drag you up there with me.
I think about it.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Okay.
I'm going to have to get you up there. Do you do any baking for the holidays, like cookies or pies or cakes or anything?
I'm not a baker.
Okay.
If you're talking about just like cutting the cookie and just stick it in there out of the store.
Girl, I can't.
But I'm not a baker at all, but I love eating it, but I'm not a baker.
I know that's right. I love Christmas basically because people, it seems like for 1 month, they are so much nicer, and it's not even about gifts or anything, but they're more giving and open and friendlier to people. Why can't people do this all year long?
The Grinch.
There you go. That, and I don't know. And it's not about spending money. It's about fellowship and being with loved ones and spending that time and, having meals and everything and visiting friends. And that's another thing I want to bring up, listening audience. There are always people in your neighborhood that you may know or someone else may know that is in need. If you know someone that is single or elderly in your neighborhood and they're probably alone, if you're cooking dinner, take them a plate as well or invite them over. I'm not saying you have to be best friends with someone, but you can always share that hospitality and that goodness. Which brings me up to a really sad event here. We have a lady, her name is Samantha Linkwas, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but her house trailer burned down last weekend. She had 4 children, or she has 4 children, and her boyfriend, so they are definitely in need of whatever anyone would like to offer and donate to them, because obviously trailers aren't but so big. It was totally, everything was gone, everything. So blankets, pillows, socks, coats, jackets, food items, money, whatever anyone can donate, please do that. And I'm hoping that right below me is a link or her Cash App or whatever, so that you can send something to Samantha and her family, because with 4 children, she's definitely going to need some warmer clothes, sweaters, anything that you may be able to accommodate her with. I'm not familiar with what sizes she may need. That information was not given to me, but I'm sure whatever you can give her and donate will be very much welcomed. And again, there are also nursing homes and hospitals where people are in there and no one comes to visit them. It's like their families just forgot about them.
Right.
And I think the United States may be one of the few countries that doesn't honor the elderly. They're the wise ones that have gotten us to this point.
Right.
So we should be at their feet learning and listening and hearing about whatever happened, prior to them getting to this. They've seen so much. Just like my relatives, I can say, because I'm older than you are, but don't tell anybody. We won't tell anybody that I just said that right. But they've seen the evolution of someone going to the moon, the trains that have the metro liners, the everything.
Yeah, it's still a lot we can learn from them.
Absolutely, and even transportation, cars and stuff. My oldest daughter has a car. It doesn't matter what kind. It's one of those cars that you get in. It's so much to do before you get in it. It's like, can you come start it for me? I don't have to use a key. Well, what am I doing? How do I turn it on? How do I get in the car? It's like, oh my gosh! And the seats adjust to you automatically, and all these other little gadgets. I am so technologically inept. It's embarrassing. Don't
I
laugh
just
at
like
me.
the heated seats.
That part I do like.
I love the heated seats.
I love the heated seats. I still play at home. I have my record player, so I still have LPs, albums, and 45s, and cassettes, and all those other good things, which I still play. I still play all my CDs. Yeah, so. The only thing I don't miss really is 8-track, because if you're with your little boyfriend or your girls or whatever and you're out riding in high school, you have to drive around until your song comes back on again, because there's no reverse or anything else
Yeah,
on
you
that.
can't see. Yeah.
My goodness. Do you think that people will be more open to acknowledging that we do have a pandemic, there's an epidemic? I mean, it keeps going into so many different strains that I can't understand why people, I'm changing conversations here so you all keep up, why people don't want to at least wear their masks or get vaccinated. I know a lot of people feel that it's evolved too quickly, and maybe they haven't had studies long enough to make sure that nothing else is going to go wrong. But what do you think?
I think we're getting, to be honest, I think we're getting tired. Because the pandemic has been going on for a while. And with so many different types of COVID
Strains,
that's coming
yeah.
out, strains of the COVID that's coming out, it's like, you got to get vaccinated. You don't get vaccinated. And it's making us think more. It's making us more aware. We're thinking more. And then some of us getting tired. And then some of us feel that if we're vaccinated, we're fine. But
You can still get something else.
yeah,
another
it
strain.
goes either way. So it's kind of hard. That's why they say it's becoming stressful. And
It
then
really
a lot
is.
of us tired of being in the house.
Yeah.
So
I agree. But even with so many strains coming out, and we can only do our own research. If you want to be up to date, you can't just go by word of mouth. You have to do your own research to find out what's best for you and your family. But with so many people dying from it, and a lot of people saying, well, it's just a hoax. And those people, could be dying for something else. We don't know. That may well be true. But this many people around the world from the same thing, it cannot be a hoax. So, that, and the upside of that, if there is an upside, with being in the house for so long during the pandemic until it reached its peak and people are starting to come out, there are a lot of what we're going to call little pandemic babies. There are so many newborns, it is ridiculous. I said, oh my, we know what you were doing.
Nice.
Yeah, but you can see, wow, look what you were doing while you were in the house. You learned each other again. You found each other again. Okay, date night. My goodness. Is there one thing that you actually missed while you were stuck in the house for so long until it was time for you to be able to venture back out and everything? Was there something out and about that you actually did miss?
Basically communication.
But we have so many means of communication. We have phones and iPods and notebooks. I told you I'm not technology, and computers and everything else. So you can always stay in touch, and FaceTime. FaceTime, is that what it's called?
But it's different. Like, I might be quiet up here, but outside I'm a people person. I like to help people, speak to people, do things for people.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot that I like to do to get involved, and I can't do it at home. I can call and say hi, but it's not the same.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah, and then I can't shop. I can shop, but sometimes I like to touch and feel, and you got to be aware of what you're doing. You can't just walk and touch and everything no more. You have to be careful.
This is true.
It's totally different. And going out to eat.
Mm-hmm.
When the pandemic first happened, it was hard to go out to eat. You had to sit outside on the patio. Then with the weather changing, you go inside. It's not the same. So yeah,
All right.
a lot of communication stuff.
And see, you stop talking right when I get ready to put it in my mouth. I don't believe you. But you know what? With so many people that have lost their jobs or lost their homes or their residence or whatever else, and they decided to wait it out and get money from the government and everything, that does come to an end after a while. And with so many places that are in dreadful need of employees, you see so many people out with their signs and wanting people to give money, and I come out of pocket constantly, and that's only because, just like you, that's the way we are. We're givers. But my thing is, with so many jobs available, there's no reason why, even if you're homeless at the moment, can't go get employed somewhere at a fast food place, at a restaurant, at whatever you were doing before, and try and become employed. And even if you have to use the address of maybe a church or a group home or a facility for men or women,
Yeah,
I'm sure they would let you do that, right?
Yeah, that you do have to have. I know that because I've been in that situation before.
Mm-hmm.
And you do have to have an address. You do have to have a valid address to get a job. You can't just go get a job if you're homeless. You have to have an address that you can use steady. So, yeah.
But that means to have a viable address, you're going to have to get out there and act like you really want it, because no one's going to help you if you don't want to help yourself. And that's not being biased or judgmental. It's just that, what are you going to do to survive? You've got to take some initiative too, right?
Right. You need strength.
That's right. And again, I want to direct you all to that Cash App for Samantha Linquist. Please help if you can. Whatever donation, whether it's large, small, in between, I'm sure they will appreciate it. If it's $1, if it's $5. If you can give more, give a little more. This is the season of giving, so do what you can. We're not asking you to, stretch your limits if you can't pay your own bills, but even, who was the poor woman in the parable in the Bible where she only had a couple pennies, but she gave that, and that was rewarded more than the rich person giving a whole lot of money and no real feeling behind it. So do what you can for each other. Be kinder to each other. We can't stress that enough. People are so mean to each other now, and it seems like it's getting worse as opposed to getting better. I was in the store, and a gentleman was saying how, someone else crossed the line. You can't even be in broad daylight without someone attacking you and taking what you have. And I said, oh my gosh. And beating up different people is crazy.
Yeah, I don't like all the crime that's going on right now. It makes it hard for you to go out and enjoy yourself.
Absolutely. Excuse me, but the pineapple is delicious. Oh my gosh, it's so sweet. So many people are buying things online that it's become really crazy unless you have cameras at your house or the neighbor's house or down the street or something that you can catch it. People are taking people's packages. I mean, it's just getting ridiculous out there.
During the holidays, you have to be aware of a lot of things. It's good, like, to go out and celebrate, but you always have to be aware of just the little things in your surroundings and stuff. You like being in the parking lot and stuff, coming home at night. It's a lot of stuff. But we still make the best of the holidays because it's so beautiful.
It really is. The lights, the smells, the foods. That's the best part, the foods. So what are you going to do for Christmas other than maybe go traveling to a couple of relatives' houses and visiting, pop calling?
Just relax. Watch more movies, listen to more music. That's all. Just enjoy the scenery.
Well, since we were talking about it earlier, I treated myself because I love Hallmark. I got the Hallmark Biggest Fan slippers and socks. They're not here. And I got the big bowl that I can put my popcorn in, and a mug for my hot chocolate. So I'm going to sit there and enjoy it and finish the holiday season doing that. And we are hopefully going to be able to see some relatives north. I know they're saying or requesting or suggesting that you keep your circle of contact small so that you're not spreading anything to anyone that you really aren't associated or around enough to be aware of. But family members miss each other, and they really
do.
want to see each other. But all we're asking is be safe, be conscious, wear the mask. I know it's hard to breathe sometimes, but unless you're eating, you don't want to pass something that you may not think you have to someone else or to babies, and all these new babies out here, or which does one of these. If people can get sick and you're around and people that have animals and they're kissing all over them, how come the dogs and cats and other animals aren't getting sick?
Well, they do. Dogs and cats can get COVID too.
I've never heard it. Are you serious?
I've heard about it on the news, but yeah, your pet can get COVID too.
Wow. So what can they do for them? It's not like you can vaccinate your dog against it or your cat or...
I don't think it's much you can do. I just know that they can get it, but I don't think it's too much you can do. You just gotta, same thing, keep your distance. The same thing you do for yourself, you have to do it for your pet.
Wow. Yeah. That is so true. My goodness. Well, at least being in, other than, it's taught a lot of people how to be technical savvy with computers and stuff because they have to work from home.
Right.
It's been a little difficult, I'm sure, for a lot of parents that have small children that have to be in school, but they have to go to work. So I think people are still trying to level up with that, and it's really been difficult for students in general because at this point, I wonder if the teachers just had to fail a lot of students, or they're going to just repeat the grades, or how they're going to do that, even though that doesn't concern us, but it's still a concern for a lot of other people.
Yeah, I know that it's been hard for a lot of students to focus when they work from home because, you know, they're not as active. They're just sitting in front of the computer.
Yeah.
So they're not as active as they are when they're in school, like moving around and talking and socializing with their friends. So I know that's been very stressful on the students. And I know some of my friends, our teachers, they say it's really stressful because they have to work harder at their job to get them to stay focused. And then they have to stay at school more for study time to build up better work for the children to keep them focused.
My goodness.
And then the extra cleaning and all that other stuff. They say it's harder now than it was before.
Absolutely, and this pandemic has definitely brought out people's characters and stuff, so you can really see how they adapt to things, or, you know, even with families. Like, you're so used to just spending a certain amount of time with your family because you're out working, they're at school, you're doing activities or whatever else, and to have to be in the house and spend that quality time, it's either build better relationships within the family, or there's been some divorces and some other things going on.
You remember when you home and the lights go out and you don't have nothing to do? The lights go out for, you remember when we had that hurricane before and the lights go out for a few days? You know how, what do? You light a candle, you play games.
You read a book, you know, whatever. Yeah, you would think. Some people just don't do that.
It's different.
So it's different for everyone. Everyone has to do whatever is comfortable within their own households. We're just offering suggestions, our own humble opinions. You're a mess. This has been good.
Yeah,
what does our time look like? We're doing well here, I do believe. Yeah, we still have some time left. You did a beautiful job on the tree. I love that.
Thank you.
I
try.
Girl, you're a mess.
I try. I got all my gifts here it'll be empty soon. I have to give them away.
Yeah, but even you did that. I stopped wrapping gifts, and they're beautifully wrapped so long ago. Now they messed up by getting gift bags and tissue paper. So I do that now. It's like, that's so much easier to stick it in there.
Really, and they come so well decorated. It's like, it's so pretty. So it's so easy.
Absolutely, it certainly is.
But I still wrap some, like, you know, even the big ones.
Yeah, I see. I don't know how, girl.
I rolled it across the floor.
No, you didn't. You rolled it across the floor.
I rolled it across the floor.
My goodness. Well, I am so excited that we were able to have this chat, that we were able to partake of some fruit and some beverage. We won't even tell you all what it is. We'll just let you wonder. But it's delicious. And I think we may just have to end it here because we have exhausted everything that we would like to. No, we haven't, as a matter of fact. We still have a few more minutes because New Year's is also coming. I know a lot of people say they would like to make a New Year's resolution, but then some people say they don't want to because, you know, they'd rather wait and make their goals written down so that they can follow it. What do you think?
Before, I wanted to make a list and stick to it. But now I have to pray and work towards it in order to stick with it. And I think that works out better for me. Just keep praying and working towards my goal to get where I need to be.
I like that.
Sometimes I hesitate. I write it down. Then once it's time to party, I forget all about that list. Throw that list and Happy New Year. If I pray, which I do daily,
Right.
I know if I can work towards it.
I have, for many years, made resolutions, and for one reason or another, life changed the journey or the pursuit of whatever it was I was doing. So I guess you just have to be flexible. So I don't know. Like you said, I write goals. In fact, I have a vision board that I started putting together.
That's nice.
And my son said that he had one and they followed it and it actually works. But I'm sitting there looking at all the stuff I pulled out to put on it and it's like, I am not motivated to stick any of this stuff on here.
You got to put your pictures up.
You do? That
Put
works?
your pictures up of what you want,
Okay.
and that's where your praying starts. But you have to put your pictures up, because writing it down on the board is not going to help. Whether you got to pull out your old magazines
Okay.
and cut out what you want and put it up there.
So it has to be a visual, not just a written, and you just can't
Right.
repeat and say it. You have to be able to see it and, okay,
Yeah, put your pictures up. It helps out a lot.
helps out a
I'm going to
lot.
start dreaming it. You're going to go to sleep and dream in a nice car.
Girl.
Yeah, you're going to start dreaming. It helps out a lot.
I like that. Well, maybe I will try that because I've been lax in trying to get that done. Yeah. What do you see for yourself in 2022? Where do you want to be and what do you want to do?
Hopefully I'll be closer to a marriage.
Okay. Did we hear this? Uh-huh. I know he's listening, so we won't throw him under the bus and say any names, but I like wedding cake and I like helping to assist and plan weddings and all the things associated with that. So yes, we'll move towards that, won't we? We'll put that on the vision board.
On the vision board. And
letters.
a better, career-wise, and I want to work harder on a little hobby that I have.
Okay. So you don't want to expand on that. You want to keep it close to the breast so that it'll come to fruition when you start. Okay, I like that. I like that.
What about you?
I would really like to do more in the arts. We taped one season one. It's a new pilot for a comedy show. I think it's a comedy. At any rate, we did the first episode, and we're supposed to be doing the second episode sometime in January. I think I read the first 2 pages of the manuscript, the script itself, and I've just been so busy and said you never are too busy for things you want to do, right? So I need to buckle down and do that, because if I want to be in the arts and do the things that I love associated with movies and television and
Right.
things like that, or plays or whatever else, then I need to stay more focused and not let life redirect where I am and what I want. That
That's
vision
smart.
board, right?
That's smart. But I like what you said at the end. Don't let it redirect you. Yeah, that vision board.
That vision board. We keep coming back to that. My goodness. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, because we don't want you to forget about Samantha. Please, whatever you can give. Samantha Linkos is her name. Again, Her trailer was burned out. She has 4 children, and she and her boyfriend are homeless with these babies out there in the cold. There's a number right there to her Cash App. Please give whatever you can, or call the studio, and perhaps the producer can give you more information about how to contact her if you'd rather give clothing or foodstuffs or whatever else. So hopefully we can get her situated. And as I said earlier, she's not the only one. There are a lot of people out there in need. And this is the season of giving, so give what you can. Santa baby, put a sable under the tree for me. Been a really good girl, Santa baby. So hurry down the chimney tonight. Boo-doo, boo-boo, boo-doo. This has been ESP TV. My name is Karen Bryson. I hope you have a safe and happy holiday season, whatever you do, wherever you go, whoever you're with. And as always, be a blessing to at least one other person. Good night. Good night, G.
Good night. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.